How did you promote and how did you advertise? How did you get Blavity out there?
Okay, so I'm going to answer that in two ways. I'm going to tell you how Blavity did it, and then I'm going to tell you, based off of what you just described, how I think you should do it, because it's not something the same. So Blavity grew through word of mouth and growth hacking and being really, really smart about tracking data. So if you think about your users and you think about your customers, you want to think about where do they play? Where do they hang out? Right? Where do Black millennials hang out, Jello? Somebody tell me. Yes, online, right? Okay, and where online? Twitter, Black Twitter. Okay, where else? Instagram, where else? Vine for young people. We're a little older in here. Snapchat now. YouTube, right? So that's where I went, right? We built up our following on Twitter using growth hacking. So an example of growth hacking on Twitter is if you play the follow back, right? You follow someone, someone's like, oh, you follow me. And you're like, oh, it's me. And then you unfollow them like a month later, right? But they're still following you. Yeah, right? So we did that. We used robots to actually follow and like and favorite people. And I'm telling you all my secrets. I'm telling you all my secrets. On Instagram, we do the same thing. So we'll follow a bunch of people. We'll look at their accounts. Some of them will follow back, some of them won't. And there's a tool called Instagress, and that's a tool that we use to automate that. And so say for example Blavity, right? Nobody knew who we were. So we would look at places and organizations and accounts that were that had similar audiences. So Travel Noir, Afropunk, Bevel, right? And then we say, well, who's following them? Boom, right? They've already built the audience for me. So you have to do the same thing, right? Who already has your audiences? It could be authors. It could be, if you have a local strategy, it could be cafes, it could be bookstores, it could be, right now we're building our email list. So who has the best email list in every city? Promoters, club promoters, parties, yes, right? They have the best list. It's the most active. You know when they're like, hey, ladies' night, you're like, I'll probably open that email, right? So that's great. So instead of me trying to go chase these strangers down, let me partner with the best party promoters in all these cities and do list shares and get to know who their users are, co-sponsor an event. So Trap Karaoke, has that been here yet?
No, but I wanted to come.
Yeah. So Trap Karaoke is so much fun. It's been in DC, it's been Oakland. Jason's a good friend of mine, so I was like, all right, Blavity will sponsor Trap Karaoke, right? But then we get access to that community because it's very similar to ours. So when you're looking at your users and you're looking and building community, you want to think about who can you partner with who has the same audience as you, and you have to have a mutually beneficial relationship, right? So I didn't go to Trap Karaoke and say like, Jason, give me all your emails, right? Because he'd be like, no, right? Because he shouldn't. I said, okay, Jason, like, what do you need, right? And he said, I need to go to LA and do the party in LA. I was like, cool, we'll sponsor the party in LA. Here's a couple $100. We'll promote it on Instagram because we have a big following in LA and you have none. And then I could be like, okay, now here's what I need, right? So when you're thinking about your business and your friend's business, you need to think about where are those people already playing? Whether that's socially, business, what about schools, community centers? Can you give some to moms? They're huge advocates of word of mouth, right? Especially Black moms. Are there Black mom networks that you can reach out to and say, hey, can we give you some free copies? And then figure out a way to capture their information. A lot of times people do things and they have no way to reach back out with someone. And you really need, for retention, you need to be engaging with them on a regular basis or else they're going to forget about you. So if you look on Blavity, on Instagram, for example, we're not trying to get people on Instagram to like click to our website. I just want you to hang out on Instagram, love Instagram, love Blavity's Instagram, and then in a year from now, I'm gonna be like, hey, click to the website, right? But right now I'm not worried about that because I'm gonna convert more people by having really, really good content and not trying to get them to run around to another platform.